Road. Here's Pierce Thurlow Road.
A lot of names.
Yeah, a lot of names.
Everybody,
right here.
Looks like a neighborhood named, you know, with names for the roads.
So here's 218. Here's Newt, and as we expand out a little bit, it's between Newt and Thurlow. It looks like where we have that rotation heading to your area. So here's the Thurlow area. Here's Highway 68. As we go in closer here, you're going to see some more streets. If I look very closely, here's Mount Lebanon Church Road, and then J.T. Jeffries Road, Frank Clark Road. So if you're familiar with some of these areas, this is where you need to be really seeking shelter because, again, the green's right on top of the red. This is where we have that circulation. You guys are right in the middle of that tornado warning, and there is the tightest area of circulation and rotation that we have at this time, and that looks like it's going to be tracking just to the south of the Greensburg area. So we've got some bowing segments with this squall line. Here's a bow here and a bow here, and sometimes on these edges we can get those little EF0, EF1 tornadoes. So again, this won't last too much longer in our viewing area. This is about 65 miles south of Louisville, 65 to 70 miles south, and there's our latest track. Heading now very soon over the Greensburg area. You guys have some strong winds now. The circulation is just south of you, so be ready to seek shelter in Campbellsville in just a few minutes. Heading towards the Gradyville area, Columbia in about 15 to 20 minutes, Casey Creek in about 20 to 25, Clementsville in about 25 to 30 minutes, and into the Sano area in just about a half hour. If we go out a lot farther here and just get some perspective, I want to show you that this is well south of Louisville, and most of our area has no severe weather concerns whatsoever. So we're in the all clear through southern Indiana, northern Kentucky, basically all along I-65 and west. We have no severe weather concerns. Okay, so don't worry about this whatsoever if you're around Louisville, I-64, and to the north. So basically, here's the Bluegrass Parkway. You might get some gusty winds out of this around Washington County, Springfield, Willisburg. Here is where we have the tornado watch. So this is in the Lebanon area, Marion County, Campbellsville, Taylor County, Greensburg, Greene County. This threat is east of you, Hart County. You guys were under that tornado warning just a moment ago. So that is now east of your area. So we're not worried about that anymore. It's just this leading edge right here, and it's ragged, like we saw again last week, moving through Hardin County. So this is moving east at about 50 miles per hour. It will not take long at all to get this out of our viewing area. I'd say in the next half hour or so, we're all in good shape in the WHS 11 viewing area. Here's a track on that whole line that could be putting down some ice, damaging wind gusts in excess of 60 miles per hour. Above 60 miles per hour is when you can get some trees to topple over. We've got some wet ground too, so the root systems are a little bit looser. That can lead to some power outages and maybe some damage to your barn or your home and some of the rooftops as well. Latest track that we have on here, heading towards the Campbellsville area in just a few minutes. Gradyville now within 10 minutes. Columbia 10 to 15 minutes. Casey Creek in 15 to 20 minutes. And to the Clementsville area in about 20 minutes. So we give you these updated tracks because this thing is racing, TG, at 50 miles per hour with some occasional lightning strikes as well.
Yeah, and Ben, just in from the Taylor County Mesonet, which is west of Campbellsville, right here in this area, they've had a wind gust of about 44 miles per hour, so that's nothing off the charts. Again, the biggest concern is that area that we've been talking about where the tornado warning is. Obviously, it's moving across the southeastern part of Greene County right now and about to eventually it'll move, it looks like north of Columbia, at least where that circulation is. Let me switch back over to velocity mode here and give you a little better look where that little notch is. Looks like it's about right over US 68 right now, just to the south of Greensburg. It's not maybe not as wrapped up as it was. There's the community of Newt that we've been talking about over the last 5 to 10 minutes, but over toward Gresham, Cane Valley, which is north of Columbia there, and Adair County, and Pickett, which is right on the Greene and Adair County line. It may pass just to your north, but as Ben mentioned, any of these areas up and down this strong line of thunderstorms, even though beyond the tornado warning, we don't have any severe thunderstorm warnings out up and down the line, but still some wind gusts 45, 50 miles per hour, maybe even greater, coming up on Campbellsville right now, Lebanon, Springfield, it's right on top of you, Willisburg, and again, this stuff's going to be out of here probably within the next 30 minutes, at least the northern part of the line take a little longer to get across Adair County, and then looks like the rest of this stuff down along the Kentucky-Tennessee border should move eastward. New tornado warning out there, Ben, as you see. That's out for Adair County, parts of Greene County, and Taylor, at least in our viewing area.
Yeah, that'll continue until after midnight Eastern time and until after 11 p.m. So 12:30 Eastern time and 11:30 Central time. So this is the Cumberland Parkway. So the threat is just to the north of Columbia, and this little area of circulation has been long-lived. It's been holding together for over a half hour, maybe up to an hour now. We've been watching this actually moving in from near the Bowling Green area, from near the Butler County, Edmondson, Warren County areas, and now into our viewing area. So Cane Valley, you guys want to be seeking shelter. Here is Green River Lake. You guys want anywhere along there, you need to be seeking shelter as well. Here's Highway 6155 in the southeastern sections of Greene County. The Newt area is now in the clear, by the way. And it's right on top of Highway 68 between Greensburg and the Gresham area. If we go in right about here into the Gresham area, we'll go into some street level. We'll name some streets so you're familiar with where we have some of the circulation. So there's Highway 61. Here's Pikeview Road, Deacon Road, Shelby Patterson Road, Bill Shuffett Road, Liberty Church. It looks like Grover Gibbons, George DeWitt, and a little bit farther to the north, TG, and then we'll be about right in the middle of that tornado warned area as well. There's Blowing Springs, 12 Oaks Road, and so this is all in southeastern Greene and moving into portions of Adair County where we have, again, why we look at this is the velocity. This is the speed of the raindrops, the Doppler effect. So this is the green heading into the radar, and this is the red heading away from the radar. So these are the winds actually heading away. So when you have this kind of action here, you've got kind of a Boeing segment here, a Boeing segment right there, and in the middle, it's being taken in by those rotational winds. And this line, again, is at about 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 feet off the ground, are blowing 60, 70 to 80 miles per hour. So we get that connection every once in a while, and sometimes we can get those damaging straight line winds in excess of 60 miles per hour, and the potential every once in a while along these lines of that brief spin-up tornado. Latest track here where we have this tornado warning, again until 12:30 Eastern time, 11:30 Central time. Heading to Gresham right now. We just pointed out some roads near you. Gradyville in about 5 to 6 minutes. Columbia in about 10 to 15. Into the Speck area at about 15 minutes. Clementsville in about 24. And beyond that, it's going to be heading out of the WHAS 11 viewing area. But you might know some folks around the Pelleyton area, Dunville, and to Pricetown, heading in those areas in about a half hour. So we still see that little kink in the squall line that we have right here. Anywhere along this, though, we could every once in a while have some isolated damaging winds. So right there where they kind of come together is where we have this spot of concern. It looks like it's to the east of you, Greensburg. So we're happy to say that the threat for the Greensburg area in Greene County is pretty much over with now. You are now on the back side of that squall line, on the very front edge is where we always have that concern.
There's another tornado warning off to the north now, Ben.
Okay, so now we've got another kink here. So again, you see the squall line come in like that, connect to another portion that's bowing out. So in Lebanon, Kentucky now we have a new tornado warning. So here is Highway 68. And this is going to be tracking, again, directly to the east at about 50 miles per hour. So that's going to be tracking down Highway 68 to the gravel switch area. This is the northeastern quadrant, northeastern section of Marion County. So we've got the green and the reds, again, a signature that we have a couplet where we have some rotation. And so this is a new area of concern, new tornado warning. That probably also goes out until about 12:30 Eastern time.
It is, actually, let's see here. Sorry, there's so many of them coming
down. And again, gravel switch.
Yeah, 12:15.
12:15 Eastern time. So Seek shelter if you're in the gravel switch area. Lebanon is right on top of you. This is going to be away from you in about 5 or 10 minutes, and you're going to be just fine. This does not include basically the western half. Anywhere west of Lebanon, you guys are in the clear, not worried about severe weather in your location. Here's a new track on the very latest tornado warning. We'll get that back up here in just a second. Again, this is tracking along Highway 68, northeastern portions of Marion County. So we have two distinct areas of rotation, one here in Marion County and also one that's going to be heading east of Greensburg and into the Columbia, Kentucky area in Adair County. So here's the latest track on this one, heading towards Sallytown, basically now, be seeking shelter, Bradfordsville, Gravel Switch, Jacktown, and then the rest of these will be out of the viewing area into the Danville area in about 25 minutes, Bryantsville in about a half hour, and Stanford in about 38 minutes.
Over in Lexington's viewing area. I mean, literally this thing is just right on the edge there across the east central part of Marion County Bend. And let me get that off of there and we'll go in a little bit closer. You can see where that little notch is, just literally the southeastern part of Lebanon, the city of Lebanon. So
let's go out just ahead because I know we've got a little lag sometimes, and so right about there is where we can get some of these roads to pop up again. There's the Pinnock area. Here's Highway 68, and we'll eventually get these to pop on. Sometimes we just got to go in really tight. So there is Pinnock Road, Pinnock Tatum Loop, and if we look very closely here, here's Tatum Lane, Danville Highway. So if you're familiar again with these roadways, you guys are in the way of a potential quick spin-up tornado. This could produce winds at around 80, 90 to 100 miles per hour. This would be kind of an EF0, EF1 situation. We don't have a confirmation that we have a tornado on the ground. This is all radar indicated, but again, we often see along these squall lines where we have these signatures, these reds and the green colors that we're showing you, and this rotations. Oftentimes we will get some brief spin-up tornadoes. So Riley Road, Goose Creek Road, and so we want you to be seeking shelter. The safest place is always away from the doors and the windows. Get to the lowest level of your home. Make sure you're in a sturdy structure, as this is heading towards near the Bradfordsville area. Now, as we head back down south, we don't want to ignore you guys here in southeastern Greene County is where we still have this tornado warning. This stretches into southern Taylor County, the threat south of Campbellsville. Campbellsville, you're actually between the two notches. So we got a notch right here, tornado potential. This notch right here to the east of Greensburg, and right in the middle is a semi-bow echo. And so this could be putting down some straight line winds, 40, 50, isolated over 60 miles per hour. You guys might see some tree limb damage, isolated power outages in the Taylor County area around Campbellsville. It's southern Taylor County that could be clipped by this area of rotation. So there's that latest track heading towards the Romine area in 2 minutes, Cane Valley in 5, Casey Creek in about 10 to 15 minutes, Neatsville in about 15 to 20 minutes. Again, this threat is not going to last very much longer. We'll say about 15 minutes, maximum half hour for our viewing area, it looks like, because these storms are not taking their time. They're moving very quickly at 50 miles per hour. So this is moving towards the latest tornado warning towards Gravel Switch and Bradfordsville. So we've been talking how it's been right over the Lebanon area, that circulation. So that's going to be heading towards the Gravel Switch, to the town of Gravel Switch. So very strong winds all along this squall line. And it's putting down some brief, very heavy rainfall. Now that secondary impact with all this rain tonight is a flood watch that we have in effect for Bullitt County and south. So really, it's going to be south of the Bluegrass Parkway, east of I-65 that we're going to keep on over the next 15 minutes to a half hour.
We're almost out of the rain.
Yeah, so Louisville has light to moderate rain. Southern Indiana's been in the clear all night long. No severe weather threat there. And if you look from the Bluegrass Parkway north, no severe weather threat there. Yes, heavy rainfall. It's east of you, though, Spencer County, east of you in Shelby County. No threat anymore around the Frankfort area. So really our severe weather threat is confined to, for a little bit longer here, in Marion, Taylor, southeastern Greene, and Adair counties. Greene County, you're almost in the clear as well. You can see that the notch is actually moving into southeastern Taylor County. We just got a live update here with Max HD radar. So TG, would go ahead and give the all clear to Greene County,
yeah,
too.
I think we're okay in Greene County because it's right in there. Let me change the velocity mode over. And yeah, see, as you say, there's a little bit of lag, but there's obviously the far eastern edge of Greene County right now. And as this updates, it'll be right around the Cane Valley area, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, north of Columbia there, across the north central part of Adair County. And again, that warning, that tornado warning goes there in Adair County until 11 Central, midnight Eastern. So that's about another 10 minutes here for that cell. But again, as you mentioned, Ben, I mean, literally looking at the velocity data or the basic reflectivity, I mean, these things are just trucking eastward. They're going to be through, I'd say literally within the next 15 or 20 minutes, we probably can sound the all clear across the entire viewing area, even our southeastern part. These things are just moving so quickly.
And thankfully, you know, we can sleep safe and sound here very shortly, and we won't have to worry about any severe weather once this line moves through. That's going to be it for the rest of tonight. So we don't have to worry about this severe weather threat any longer once this squall line moves through. It's going to settle everything down behind that. So again, northeastern quadrant of Marion County. This threat is now just east of Lebanon, so good news for you guys because that was right on top of you. You're still under a tornado warning, but that threat's now east of you guys. That's heading towards Gravel Switch down Highway 68. Now this is a squall line that can produce anywhere along it. Winds at around 40, 50, maybe even in excess of 60 miles per hour. But we have this Boeing segment there, a Boeing segment right there, and where these connect, these Boeing areas, is where you can get these little what we call bookend vortices. So on the northern tips of these is where you get that circulation. Now in the middle of the actual bow, sometimes you can get these little jets to come down to the ground, and that can cause winds, straight line wind damage in excess of 60 miles per hour as well.
Got one right there, just on the reflectivity, and then down here, and those are obviously where the warnings are issued for.
So we still have a tornado warning. I know it's in effect still for southeastern Greene, but Greene County, you're in the clear, not worried about you guys. It's the northern half here of Adair County. It looks like that threat north of Columbia, but there's that Boeing segment that could put down some strong winds. And so that is right on the county line between Taylor and Adair counties is where we still have that tornado warning in effect. And then that other area that TG is pointing out here is right along Highway 68. Now, that's now east of Lebanon. Again, I want to continue to point out who's in the clear. In Lebanon, Kentucky, you are now in the clear. And it looks like just these far eastern edges of Marion County continue to need to be in your place of shelter.
Between Bradfordsville and Gravel Switch there.
Yeah, Bradfordsville, the Pinnock area, and Gravel Switch. Yeah, right in between there. Here's 337, where it comes together with 68. Looks like it's a good place to be in shelter. Let's head about right in here, and maybe we get some street level and give you some.
There's just updated update right now. So.
And there's the Riley area. There's 337. There's Buffalo Church Road. Buffalo Road, and if we go a little bit north of there, up 337, we can head towards Minor Road. Again, this is northeastern Marion County, Rawlings.
And that's right on the county line, I believe, or at least close to it.
And that's going to be heading out of the viewing area probably within the next 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's over into Boyle County in Lexington's viewing area, and also Lincoln County. So
just a little bit longer, 10 or 15 minutes with that warning. We'll still have this tornado warning for Adair County, southern Taylor County for probably another 15 to 20 minutes that we'll continue to track that. So here's this other circulation as we go into Adair County. There's 551, the Holmes area, and going in there, there is Holmes Bend, Robertson Road, Gossett, Campground Road, Texas Eastern Road. So if you've heard your location, be seeking shelter immediately as we have the potential for this spin-up tornado. When we say brief spin-up, we're talking about something that could last just a few minutes. An example of this was in Hardin County last week. It was on the ground for 3 minutes. It was only 80 yards wide, produced some roof damage in some areas, put down some trees. That's the kind of thing we're talking about. This is radar indicated at this time. We've had a report of some branches down. We've had a report of some sideways rain, some very gusty conditions. We haven't had a confirmation at this time that a tornado is on the ground, but this is all radar indicated. This is stuff that, you know, we see in the textbooks here with some Boeing segments along a squall line. Pretty regular stuff right here at this time. There's, again, Highway 68 towards the gravel switch area. This is far northeastern Marion County.
Yeah, Washington County is out of it now. They clipped that part of it out because
okay.
obviously the circulation is farther south here, right around Gravel, actually southwest of Gravel Switch, between Bradfordsville and Gravel Switch there along 337.
So, maybe a couple more minutes left,
yep.
And that's about it for Marion County. You're in the all clear in Lebanon, just some plain old rainfall for you guys. So that's good news there. Still seek shelter for a few more minutes here. Gravel switch to near the Bradfordsville area around 337. It's going to be heading out of the WHS-11 viewing area. As we go back into Adair County, here's 551, here's 55, and so this is moving now just into Adair County. This is around Cane Valley, Holmes, Absher. This is Highway 551 right there. As we zoom in, there is Texas Eastern again, Holmes Bend Road. So anywhere around the Holmes area, you guys are right in the path of some of that circulation that we're seeing on Max HD radar. There's Robertson Road, Renfro, Ballou, and Gossett. And so that's right where we see some of that circulation continuing. This is some what we call long-lived circulation, pretty healthy area where we have the potential of a brief spin-up tornado. So good news here for Taylor County. You guys are in the clear. Not worried about you guys anymore in Campbellsville, Greensburg. You are out of the threat of severe weather. Yes, it still has this box over you under that tornado warning. You're still under a tornado watch, but I can give you the all clear now. Severe weather is east of all of you guys here. You've pushed all of that energy to produce some of the severe weather off to the east. So it's all good there. Here's the latest track as it moves through the northern sections of Adair County. Basically, Columbia to the northeast is what we're talking about here. So right on top of Columbia now, you've got that Boeing squall line segment that could produce some winds, 40, 50, over 60 miles per hour, heading towards the Clementsville area in about 7 minutes, into Sano in 13, Dunville in about 19, 20 minutes, into Teddy in Windsor, and into the Waynesburg area, which is out of the WHS-11 viewing area, County, so. About 20 minutes to a half hour. So again, wrapping up here very shortly with this severe weather threat, with this tornado warning that is now almost out of Marion County, right on top of areas just south of Gravel Switch is where we have some of that rotation. Right below 243 and 337 is where we still see, again, this is the air flowing into the squall line or towards the radar. This is all rushing thanks to some jet stream energy and a little energy at the surface as well, producing some damaging wind gusts. There's
a county line right there, and then you've got Boyle County here and Lincoln County here over in Lexington's viewing area. So literally, probably one more, click, and it's moving out of Marion County right now as we speak.
As we speak, it probably went like that. So it really is a viewing area here in Marion County. So you guys are all safe there. And then as we go into Adair County, and we're almost out of the range of the actual radar as well. So this is Cane Valley. You guys have that circulation east of you, so thumbs up there. You guys are in good shape. Holmes area right on top of you, but it's probably just off to the east of you now because these things are moving very quickly at about 50 miles per hour. So Dunbar Hill would be the location where we still want to be in your place of shelter, into the Purdy area. Eunice, Barnett Springs. Zooming in here, you can see some of these streets that we're talking about around these areas that we're talking: Walker, Peterson, Good Bend Road, Tucker Woods Road. There's 76. This is north of Columbia, Kentucky, in northern Adair County. This is north of the Cumberland Parkway. There's a look at Duckbill Road, Spout Springs, and Noble Road. And again, the northern sections of Adair County, north of Columbia, Kentucky, where for probably about 5 or 10 minutes, just kind of watching this circulation here, letting you know where it's going. We'll probably do about 1 or 2 more tracks on this, and then we'll say goodbye to this tornado-warned storm here in Adair County. And we're also going to see the tornado watches go bye-bye very quickly as well. So here's another track. Meteorologist T.G. Shuck tracking this on Max HD radar here for you. It's heading towards Casey Creek now. Clementsville in about 5 minutes. Dunville in about 10 to 15.
And then Liberty, that's 15. Yeah, Casey County, that's county seat there. So it is rolling very, very quickly.
All right, let's go ahead and expand back out, TG, and we'll see what's happening across the entire viewing area. We're covering this because we've had a couple of tornado warnings here. In our late hours, we come up to midnight on your late Monday night. Everywhere else is pretty safe.
Thunderstorm out of the viewing area.
Out of the viewing area with that. This is all light to moderate rain. We're all safe here. The severe weather threat has remained very low as expected across the viewing area. The rain actually tapering off west of I-65, so that's really good news there. This is just plain old rainfall. From Bullitt County south, we do have a flood watch, so still watch out for some high water and some flood prone areas. But this dark red is a squall line. That's what we're watching here for the potential of some brief spin up tornadoes. The threat is now east of you, Campbellsville, east of you in Greensburg, no longer a threat in Hart County. And that tornado, at least that rotation where a tornado is possible, is now east of Marion County and east of Washington County, Kentucky. So TG, this threat's wrapping up very soon. And just a little bit of time left over for this tornado warning here.
Yeah, the one for Marion County, it's midnight right now, so that has been allowed to expire, should disappear here in just a second. So really all we've got is this one left here in Adair County. And really, folks in Taylor County, even though technically, you know, the box is, the warning polygon is still clipping Taylor County, when you switch over to the velocity mode, as you see, that circulation is clearly right here in Adair County, northeast of Columbia, and eventually it's going to slide right over into Casey County, over toward Liberty, in Lexington's DMA, and that's going to be within probably 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'd say two more scans with the radar. So yeah, like 5 minutes, and this is going to be out of the WHS-11 viewing area,
so
and the severe weather threat will end for all of us here in Kentuckiana, thankfully. So still be seeking shelter around the Dunbar area. This is around 206 and 551. Barnett Springs, the Pellyton area, all be seeking shelter right now until this will zip on through in just about 5 minutes. It really will not take long for that threat to skip on by your area. So right there out ahead of that circulation, this is where it's happening now, but it's probably just out ahead of it, is where we have the potential still for that brief spin-up tornado. So the latest roads that we're telling you to seek shelter, this is Mitcham, this is Caldwell Ridge Road, Jeffries Road, and so this is the northern sections of Adair County, north of the Cumberland Parkway, again, northeast of Columbia, Kentucky. Here's Crooked Creek, Webster, got to turn my head a little bit to see some of these, Ray Miller, and Mount Tussle Road, and that's just south of 551. And again, we'll have another update here with the radar in just a moment. I'd say one more track, TG, and we'll let this go. Again, we haven't had any reports of anything serious from these areas of rotation, thankfully. In fact, the biggest wind speeds we've seen are only around 45 miles per hour. So all this has been radar indicated so far. And
literally, there where the arrow is, there's the county line. Here's Casey County, which is out of the viewing area, and Liberty. So I'll put a track on this, but probably there may be, what, 1 or 2 towns that actually show up in eastern Adair County there. As this thing rolls east-northeastward at about 50. So there's...
right at midnight tonight, and it's over the Clemensville area, Sano, Dunville, and Middleburg in the next 15 minutes, and again out of the WHS-11 viewing area. So again, it looks like our severe weather threat's wrapping up very quickly. Let's go back to reflectivity just to look at the rest of Columbia County off to the south, see if there's anything significant there, and then we'll let this ride on out of the viewing area. It looks like just heavy rainfall, nothing organized through the rest of Adair County. So thankfully it looks like this severe weather threat is ending very soon. And if there's any more information we need to give you, we'll have that crawling at the bottom of your screen. But it looks like this threat is really wrapping up very quickly, and it looks like that tornado watch will be over with as well very quickly. So again, as we are now just past midnight into your very, very early Tuesday morning, thanks for hanging with us. Looks like that severe weather threat is now coming to an end. On behalf of meteorologist T.G. Shuck, I'm Chief Meteorologist Ben Pine, and we are going to send it over to Jimmy Kimmel.
to the biggest night in country music.
We're getting